Other monuments include the Abu Simbel temples and the Great Sphinx of Giza. However, many bone-chilling and downright weird discoveries would get you wondering. What was the significance of crocodiles, birds, and other animal symbolisms in ancient Egypt? How did a missing tooth help solve a century-old mystery? Why were Greek gods found in Egyptian temples? Join us in this video as we examine Egypt's most mysterious discoveries and anomalies, and what scientists just found in a forbidden area in Egypt that has shocked the world. Ancient Egyptian civilization thrived along the Nile River for over 3,000 years, around 3,150 BC. The river provided a means of irrigation and transportation across the country and other surrounding regions. This enabled agriculture and trade, although they maintained limited outside interference. Religion was a significant part of ancient Egyptian culture, as they worshipped hundreds of gods and goddesses, some inscribed in their hieroglyphic scribbles. The predominant national gods were Ra, the sun god, Osiris, the god of the afterlife, Isis, the mother goddess, Horus, the falcon god, and Amun, the creator god. This led to beliefs in immortality, the afterlife, magic, and rituals. Although the pharaoh was worshipped, he was seen as an intermediary between the gods and people. Some of the famous pharaohs include Ramses II, Thutmose III, and Cleopatra. The Egyptians built elaborate temples and tombs for their gods and deceased royal family members. Many of these structures have become essential preservation grounds for many of the wonders we keep discovering in Egypt. The study of ancient Egypt has significantly contributed to modern architecture, art, astronomy, medicine, mathematics, and literature. The Egyptian society was stratified and hierarchical. However, they had rights and freedoms not seen in many ancient civilizations. Although Egyptian culture declined after 1070 BC, the legacy and mysteries remain as archaeologists continue to find exciting artifacts hidden away in Egypt. Let's explore some truly terrifying discoveries in the forbidden areas of Egypt. First are the bones of Fayum necropolis. In 2021, while digging through the Fayum necropolis about 62 miles south of Cairo, a team from the Center of Egyptological Research of the Russian Academy of Science made a chilling discovery. They found the bones of an 8-year-old child carefully spread out among the corpses of 142 dogs. The discovery was highly unusual and puzzling. The Fayum necrosis is a burial ground used by ancient Egyptians to mummify and entomb their dead. The region provided the ideal conditions for natural mummification. The remains of the child, which date back to the 1st century BC, were surrounded by the bones of puppies and some fully grown dogs. The dog species ranged from large hounds to tiny lapdogs. Blue clay was found on the bones of the dogs, which experts say indicates that the dogs may have been drowned before being placed in the child's catacombs. This is identified as a form of pet cemetery. The child's skull was found wrapped in a linen bag, which had only been found once before. Since dogs held great significance in ancient Egypt, the death and burial of over 140 have puzzled experts. Dogs were regarded as sacred associates of the dog-headed gods like Anubis and served as guiding souls into the afterlife. There have also been instances of mummified dogs and mass burials, such as the 7 million canine mummies in the Anubis catacomb in Saqqara. Some experts theorize that the child cared for the dogs and perished with them in a disaster. Others believe that there was ritualistic or criminal intent behind the burial. Scholars continue to evacuate the tomb with great care to avoid destabilizing the excavation site. Although 2,000 years old, the bones hold important secrets that may lead to important discoveries. The Egyptologists hope that technology can provide cues that may not be immediately visible to the naked eye. Another mind-boggling discovery made in Egypt's many ancient burial grounds is the mummified crocodiles in temples and catacombs. These sacred mummies show how much the Egyptians held crocodiles in awe and reverence. In 2022, archaeologists uncovered a stunning cache of mummified crocodile remains at the Kalgan necropolis. These crocodiles underwent minimal mummification, which preserved invaluable details of their anatomy for modern studies. These crocodiles date back to the 5th century BC, a time when the Egyptians performed mummification ceremonies. These crocodiles were mummified to show their importance in ancient Egyptian culture. Crocodiles were seen to embody the Nile River's mighty power and life-giving force. There were crocodile gods such as Sobek, who featured heavily in Egyptian mythology and folklore. Sobek represented fertility, military might, protection, and the Nile's power to thrive in the desert. Experts say the crocodiles were pampered with food and adornments and given elaborate burials. Some were found in coffins and sarcophagi of royalty. Scientists are still unsure how worshippers selected which crocodiles to mummify, why some crocodiles had signs of captivity, and why the mummification process varied across regions. The catacombs are believed to have been deeply ritualistic locations. Little wonder these crocodiles have survived for over a millennium. The third discovery is the king's dagger from outer space. Among the many shiny treasures found in Egypt is a dagger belonging to the famed Egyptian boy king Tutankhamun. This ornate iron dagger stands out as something out of this world, like something forged from metal of celestial origins. The dagger is estimated to be about 3,300 years old, and the blade looks made from metal smelted from a meteorite. This has been a source of wonder for many Egyptologists. History shows that Tut became king at 9 years old and ruled for a short time in wealth before dying mysteriously. His tomb was discovered in 1922 by Howard Carter and was filled with gold. The iron dagger was too advanced for its time, as ironwork was scarce in the Bronze Age. Upon closer examination using X-ray fluorescence spectrometry, researchers have confirmed that the chemical makeup of the dagger is consistent with meteorites found in northern Africa. This dagger was believed to have granted Tut supernatural strength in his time. Some researchers say that the dagger was gifted to him by one of the other developed kingdoms. Scientists remain puzzled about why the Egyptians would forge meteorites into daggers, blades, and jewelry. The iron's rarity made it exotic, valuable, and suspiciously magical. The Egyptians believed that Tut needed this magical weapon for the perilous journey through the afterlife. Researchers continue their quest to understand how this dagger survived 3 millennia underground and its cosmic chemical fingerprint. Next, we have the Long Tunnel in Cairo. In the desert sands of Cairo, archaeologists uncovered a massive ancient tunnel stretching 4,300 feet below the Taposiris Magna Temple. This tunnel dates back thousands of years and may hold important clues to the lost tomb of Cleopatra. The tunnel was discovered during excavations around the Taposiris Magna site in Abusia, Egypt. The temple was dedicated to the Egyptian god Osiris. The hidden passageway descends 98 feet underground with a 6.5-foot high headroom tall enough for a person to walk through. The puzzling thing about this discovery is that no significant remains or artifacts exist in it. This has caused experts to wonder why ancient Egyptians would construct such a large underground system. The leading theory is that the tunnel leads directly to the tomb of Queen Cleopatra VII, which, if found, would be filled with unimaginable riches and historical details. Cleopatra was one of the most powerful and famous pharaohs of ancient Egypt, ruling alongside Julius Caesar and Mark Antony in the 1st century. Experts say that parts of the tunnel could have collapsed on itself, or there is a secret access that has yet to be discovered. There is already strong evidence that the location houses royalty. Coins with Cleopatra and Mark Antony's images had previously been discovered around the temple site. It also seems to fit the description of the ancient history of the burial of Cleopatra. Next, we uncover the mystery of the missing tooth of Queen Hatshepsut. In 2007, Dr. Zahi Hawass of Egypt's Supreme Council of Antiquities made a dramatic announcement. He stated that a single loose tooth had uncovered the remains of Queen Hatshepsut, which was considered long lost. This tooth ended the mystery of one of the most powerful rulers of ancient Egypt, which has puzzled researchers for over a century. Queen Hatshepsut served as pharaoh from 1478 to 1458 BC during Egypt's 18th dynasty. Although her reign ushered in a time of peace, economic abundance, and significant projects, her legacy was mysteriously erased, leaving historians perplexed. Her mummy, which was supposed to be housed in a mortuary complex at Deir el-Bahri, was missing. In 1903, renowned British archaeologist Howard Carter excavated 2 bodies from an unmarked tomb in the Valley of the Kings, and experts speculated that the obese mummy could have been the remains of Queen Hatshepsut. However, after a botched autopsy, the chances of ascertaining the mummy's identity reduced significantly. After years of research and excavations, a canopic box containing a molar inside Hatshepsut's sarcophagus provided proof that the obese mummy was, in fact, Hatshepsut. The tooth roots matched perfectly with the gaps in the mummy's jaw, confirming that she was, in fact, the remains of the dead queen. Further studies uncovered that she was approximately 50 years old, overweight, and just below 5 feet. The next discovery is the Falcon Shrine of Berenike. Archaeologists have made a puzzling discovery in the ancient Egyptian city of Berenike. They uncovered the ruins of a nearly 2,000-year-old shrine containing 15 headless falcons. This brought about interesting questions about the mystery around cult worship of birds of prey in ancient Egypt. Known as a bustling port city on the Red Sea during the Ptolemaic dynasty, Berenike was a critical trading hub linking Africa, India, and the Mediterranean. A mud brick shrine discovered by a team of Polish archaeologists dates back to the 4th century AD. Although the pharaohs instituted bird cults, the shrines persisted long after Egypt fell under Roman occupation. The falcon represented Horus, a powerful sky and war deity in ancient Egypt. The archaeologists also found dozens of broken ostrich eggs and the carved granite busts of several known deities. Among them were 15 mysterious headless falcons. The headless birds speak of an era in history where gods fell in and out of favor, but the sacred sites remain. The next discovery is the temple inspired by a Greek god. In April 2022, archaeologists unearthed the ruins of the ancient Greek god Zeus in the Sinai Peninsula in Cairo. The ruins were discovered in the Tel El Fama archaeological site, formerly known as Pelusium, and the found stones bear Greek carvings. These inceptions indicate that Hadrian renovated the temple between 117 and 138 BC. In ancient times, Zeus was a significant figure, with many temples dedicated to him worldwide. The discovery of this temple shows that the worship of Greek gods extended farther than the territory of Greece. Researchers are quite surprised that the worship extended into Egypt, as Egyptians are known to have their mythology and gods. The temple blocks are said to have collapsed when a strong earthquake hit the city, probably pulling down other buildings with it. The discovery has caused researchers to question if Greek people lived and had a community in Egypt. The next discovery is the ancient artwork with the flying birds of Akhenaten. Amid the Amarna ruins, archaeologists discovered a masterpiece artwork portraying the lifelike flight of marshland birds in ancient Egypt. Dating back 3,300 years, this awe-inspiring artwork has undergone meticulous scrutiny by researchers aiming to unravel its secrets about Egypt's rich history. Amarna was the capital city founded by Pharaoh Akhenaten during the 14th century. The artwork features 6 species of birds from Egypt's marshes and Nile habitats. Ornithological experts identified rock pigeons, white wagtails, red-backed shrikes, hoopoes, pied kingfishers, and small wading birds. Each is identifiable by distinct plumage details perfectly captured by the ancient artist. The different birds hold symbolic significance in ancient Egyptian culture. The hoopoe represented virtue and was associated with the god Thoth. Rock pigeons symbolize fertility and new beginnings. Red-backed shrikes implied victory and rising above adversity. These birds are portrayed with vivid realism and color, evoking the Egyptian natural splendor with brushwork showing intimacy. Although the original artwork did not survive, the current designs are preservation attempts by other ancient artists, transporting viewers through time. The image shows the vibrancy of Egypt's environment and fauna. The next discovery is the collection of ancient jewelry. In 2022, archaeologists discovered a trove of golden jewelry from a previously unexplored tomb in the ancient Egyptian city of Akhetaten. Akhetaten was founded around 1350 BC, but was abandoned shortly after the death of the pharaoh. The unusual Amarna period jewelry found there reflects the briefly flourishing art style of Pharaoh Akhenaten's reign. The collection contains rings, bracelets, beads, and necklaces of elaborate design. In depth, images of gods and goddesses also adorn the glittering artifacts. Hieroglyphics and intricate stone settings bring a vibrancy to each piece. One of the standout pieces in the tomb is a gold ring bearing the face of the god Bees. Known as the deity of war, Bees was revered by the Egyptians for protecting homes and women in labor. He had a comical dwarf-like appearance, uniquely captured with striking details. Other pieces include the image of Hathor, goddess of sky, love and fertility, and a very rare depiction of Atum, the creator god and mythical first pharaoh of Egypt. Experts say that the buried jewelry likely belonged to nobles and elite royal court members. The ancient Egyptians regarded gold as the imperishable flesh of the sun god, and they possessed incredible metallurgical skills for crafting ornate accessories. Next is the cryptic discovery of the mysterious lady. Archaeologists made a startling discovery of a pregnant mummy who was still carrying her unborn fetus inside her womb. Discovered in the royal tombs of Thebes, the mummy was found to be a woman in her 20s or 30s. Ancient Egyptians are known for removing internal organs and placing them in canopic jars, but experts are puzzled about why the fetus was left inside the mother. The acidic environment and mummification salt have preserved the fetus like a capsule, and it has remained in dry conditions. Experts theorized that the fragile fetus may have damaged the body, and they decided to leave it in. Others believe that there were religious reasons to leave a fetus in the body. Thankfully, technologies such as CT scans can help with known medical conditions and lifestyles of Egyptian mummies. Next, we uncover the strange, flat-faced dinosaur. In Egypt's Baharia Oasis, paleontologists unearthed the vertebra of a new species of dinosaur. Living nearly 100 million years ago, this bulldog-faced carnivore sheds light on the diversity of Cretaceous dinosaurs in Egypt. The tyrannosaur-like predator was over 20 feet long and weighed around 2 tons. However, most notable is the flattened face with ridiculously tiny teeth, as compared to its large head. This dinosaur hunted prey across ancient Egypt using its long legs and deadly claws. This discovery from the abelosauroid family of 2-legged meat-eaters showed that dinosaurs roamed wider than previously thought. It showed that the Egyptian dinosaur ecosystem was far more diverse in the Cretaceous period. This terrifying dinosaur survived 100 million years before vanishing. The next discovery is the unearthed location of rare mummified lion cubs. Archaeologists have found captivating artifacts that show the interconnected nature of royalty, spirituality, and the animal kingdom. They unearthed a set of mummified lions in what is considered a ritualistic practice. Unearthed in various locations, including Saqqara and Bu-Bustayan, the specimens show meticulous care in the mummification process, with intricate wrappings and gilded adornments to emphasize the reverence for the animals. The lions are believed to align with the pharaoh's might and majesty in the afterlife. The mummification of lion cubs may have been part of a religious ceremony that symbolizes protection for the pharaoh on the other side. Next, we explore the tombs of Queen Nefertiti. Queen Nefertiti was known for her beauty and influential role as the great royal wife of Pharaoh Akhenaten, who is believed to have died around 1330 BC. Her tomb is one of the most elusive archaeological findings, and archaeologists have focused on uncovering the secrets of her burial amid the sprawling archaeological site of Amarna. Amarna was the city founded by Akhenaten. With its royal tombs and temples, it is a testament to the revolutionary religious and artistic changes implemented during Akhenaten's reign. Recent technological advancements, including ground-penetrating radar and thermal imaging, have been employed to explore the depths of Amarna. These tools have revealed the existence of potential hidden chambers and passages beneath the city, fueling speculation that one of them could lead to Nefertiti's long-lost tomb. Next, we learn about the ramp systems for generations. In Egypt's Hatnub quarry, archaeologists uncovered ramps over 4,500 years old that provide clues into pyramid construction. The ramp system dates back to around 2560 BC, during the pharaoh Khufu, which suggests that the ramps were used to haul massive alabaster blocks from Egypt's monumental pyramids. The ramps had a 20% gradient, steeper than expected for moving heavy stones. This ingenious use of simple mechanics enabled Egyptians to lift colossal stones. The Hatnub ramps were designed for alabaster, which showed sophisticated engineering. It gives clues on how the massive pyramids of Giza were constructed using ramps and pulleys. The system's configuration allowed continual forward movement and momentum to manipulate huge blocks into place. The quarry ramp discovery illuminates how ancient Egyptians designed monumental feats of organized labor that stand tall 4,500 years later. It reflects an industrial-scale operation with efficient planning, which was lost for millennia. The final discovery in this video is the golden mummies of Egypt. The enigmatic golden mummies are buried within the sacred sands of Egypt and give insight into the luxury with which ancient Egyptians treated their departed. Some of the mummies date back to the Greco-Roman period, an era that witnessed the fusion of Egyptian and Hellenistic cultures. These mummies were meticulously covered in gold leaf and carefully layered over with linen wrapping, transforming the mummy into a